Flying with infants might sound overwhelming. Diapers, crying, and all the unknowns and 40,000 feet. But what if I told you it doesn't have to be that way? Hi, my name is Irina, you're in the Jetstream Ginger channel, and as a former flight attendant, I'm telling here all the aviation insight and tips for travel. Today, we're gonna discuss the topic of how to make your flight with infant as easy, stress-free, and enjoyable as it possible. I know it might be super stressful for your baby the first time travel, but it could be also extremely overwhelming for you as a mother, and with the right preparation, you can even enjoy that flight. And today I'll tell you everything about it, what to do and what to take with you on your flight. If you're ready, fasten your seatbelt, because we're flying right into it. Well, I work as an Emirates flight attendant for 5 years, and on each and every flight we had parents with kids, and that's not something extraordinary. Nowadays travels are more affordable, so parents want to travel even with a newborn, and it's even cheaper than with the children, with your toddler or older kids, because infant ticket is way less expensive than a child ticket. And today I'll tell you how to do that stress-free for you as a parent and what thing you can do to make your flight more easier and stress-free. First of all, choose your seat wisely. If you didn't know, most of the airlines provide baby bassinet for the passenger, especially on ultra-long flights, on the half-long flights, they do have those baby bassinet. You can check if your airlines do have those. But to get it, you need to be seated on a specific seat in front of the bulkhead. So they have those pins through which crew can connect the baby bassinet, and if there are many families with infants and you are the last one to check in, there is a chance that you won't get those seats. Yes, priority given by the ground staff to the family with infants, but if it's an overbooked flight, there are many passengers with infants or someone already pre-booked those seats in advance, they can do nothing about it and you'll be seated somewhere where there is no chance to install baby bassinet. So I would highly recommend you to check in online before you're flying to check that specific aircraft. Usually when you check in, it's written there what kind of aircraft is that, and to check where is the bulkhead, so you book your seats in front of the bulkhead where baby bassinet can be installed. If you're lucky one to score the baby bassinet, you can make your baby's flight even more comfortable with Cozy Go. Cozy Go is a cover for a baby bassinet that's made kind of the cocoon with the lights and nose cancellation inside, so your baby can rest more properly. First of all, check if that specific item is allowed on the airline you're flying with, because they sometimes have a different rules. For example, on Emirates, Cozy Go was allowed, but maybe on some other airlines they are not allowed, so check it in advance. And about the baby bassinet, I told that so many times to a passenger, to the parents with infants, it's uncomfortable to say, but baby bassinet is for the baby comfort, but not for the safety. So you can use it for the takeoff and landing, and you can use it during the turbulence when the seatbelt sign is on. So if you see that seatbelt sign is on, you need to take a baby out of the baby bassinet and fasten the seatbelt, because yes, it's comfortable for your baby to sleep, but it won't protect your baby in case of anything. We know that you want your baby to sleep. As a flight attendant, we know that, but still it's for your baby safety. Don't skip it. If you see the seatbelt sign on, fasten your baby seatbelt. Most baby cries during takeoff and landing phase of the flights. Why? Because during those phases of the flight, the pressure inside the aircraft change. You can feel it as well if you ever had that feeling of the popping sensation inside of your ears. That's when your ears are adjusting to the new cabin pressure. And for infants and toddlers, it's more difficult to adjust to that pressure. So to do that, you can help them to move their jaw, because even as an adult, you move your jaw during takeoff and landing, it helps you to unblock your ears and equalize the pressure. So the same for the infants, just feed them during takeoff and landing phase, so it will help them to equalize to the pressure because they're gonna move their jaw, or give them a pacifier. If you're scared that feeding won't help your baby to equalize to the cabin pressure and you want to be more prepared in advance, you can buy actually a device that helps your baby ears to equalize to the pressure. Devices like airplanes or Estachi are the ones that help you with that issue. Most of the time, feeding is more than enough to your baby to equalize to the aircraft pressure, but if you're scared and you want to be prepared in advance, buy those ones. They will definitely help your baby. Consider bringing of baby ears muff to protect their ears from the loud engine noise. If you didn't check in online and didn't choose your seats, you might be given the seats next to the engine and it's extremely loud there. And even if you were not given those seats, it's loud on board the aircraft in general. So just to protect their sensitive ears, it's better to use these muffs. They won't make any harm for your baby. Even as an adult, sometimes people ask me if we can make the sound of engine less because it's so loud, but it's impossible. That's how the aircrafts fly. Just to protect your baby, just take those muffs and believe me, it will make it better for your baby. Cabin air is extremely dry. It's actually even more dry than Sahara Desert, so you need to keep yourself hydrated and your baby hydrated. If you're feeding them with a breast milk, just offer them that from time to time. If they're taking any other fluids like water and juices, offer your baby it often. Otherwise, they're gonna have a headache, bad mood, and they will definitely destroy your flight, especially if it's a long one. If you feel that the nose of your baby is dry as well, you can use saline ampoule drops. But I would recommend to ask an advice of your doctor to use those saline drops, especially some specific brands. By the way, about the baby bassinet that I mentioned at the beginning of this video, those are designed for the babies under a specific size. So if your flight attendant or cabin crew say that your baby is too big for the baby bassinet or baby bassinet is too small for your baby, that's for their own safety. Don't argue with them. We can give them only if your baby can lay down there with their legs straight, not bent. What I saw that some parents were not given a baby bassinet and they let their children lay down on the floor. They put some blankets and let the baby sleep there, and that's not allowed. Your flight attendant or cabin crew will ask you not to do that. You need to comply, and we do say that not to destroy your flight, but for the safety of your baby. So whenever the flight attendant tells you to do something, please comply, because we say it for your own comfort and for the safety of your baby. So please do. Also, don't be scared to ask flight attendant or cabin crew for help, especially if you're traveling with your infant alone. I take care of so many infants when I work as a flight attendant, especially if mother want to eat or use a lavatory. Of course, I'm going to help. So don't be shy, we are there to help. And I also hope that those advices will be useful for your next trip with your newborn baby. Congratulations, by the way. And if you do like that video, don't forget to like and subscribe, because it gives motivation to do more of such videos. And I believe I see you soon. Bye!